Good afternoon. It is really quite lovely out right now, so I thought I'd take advantage of the sunlight and sit by the window and just wait for the tropical storms to come. Since we're in Florida, we get our crazy rainy season during midday usually during the summer, and it just is torrential and um, yeah, thunder and lightning and all that. So it's not happening at the moment, so I'm taking advantage of it. But anyway, I just thought I would come in and do a video real quick about the area that I am currently being convicted in, and that is the area of pride. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty humbling, pretty embarrassing and immature, but just to like full exposure walk through this season with you guys to know where I'm at. Hopefully someone can relate and maybe start your own journey if this is an area where you might be convicted in also. But I have been very toxic in my mentality lately, like the past few months, and God's just really bringing to light how prideful I am and arrogant. And it's with my spouse, and or at least at the moment. Hopefully there are not other areas, but most likely there are. But right now it has to do with my spouse, and yeah, just having the Lord reveal that I'm really considering myself the better spouse. Like, I think of myself more highly than I think of my husband, and I consider the things that he's struggling with, more problematic or worse or severe than the things that I deal with, and therefore I am the better spouse. I make attempts to work towards certain things and challenge and grow, challenge myself and grow in certain areas. And if he's not doing that, I've really now seen how prideful and arrogant I have been acting toward him, and it's just disgusting. So, yeah, I don't like to go through some of these issues, but I think as humans, we can all relate to seasons in our life where we've gone through maybe, I don't know, a prideful time, or maybe you have yet to discover that, or maybe you don't deal with that the way I do, but you can just see what I'm going through, and if nothing else, just pray for me. But yeah, one of the Bible verse God's really put on my heart, and I've written it down and repeatedly gone to it as a reminder, even more so in the last few days, because I'm really seeing how nasty I've been. But it's Philippians 2, 3, and 4. And do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility consider others more significant than yourselves. And, I've really been caught up in the areas where I've been hurt, where I've been wronged, where I've been betrayed, and forgotten to look inwardly first to see how I've played a role in those areas. Not necessarily every instance is my fault, or I have, I have some blame in there somewhere. And sometimes the decisions that we make are, very selfish and self-centered, and other times they are out of protection, or like a fight or flight situation. And I've just really not given the grace and extended the grace or the love to my husband in areas where I have seen repeated hurt or wrongdoing. And then and those are like tedious little things that if you were to look at just a scenario by itself, it wouldn't seem like much. But after 16 years of marriage and life, those things weight on your shoulders and build up. And so then when a big thing comes and blows and knocks you down, those other little things really pile up and add to it. And so for me, I've really been, focused on all the bad that he's done, or all the negative he's done, and not really put any weight on where I've failed or been hurtful or harmful or just ugly and nasty. So anyway, just thought I would expose that area and let you know that I do feel God probing me to look inwardly before I look outwardly, and put blame and recognize my own areas of weakness and pride and arrogance as such, and not look at them like what I was starting to do is develop this false sense of strength, and I need to see them as weaknesses, as what they are, and that I need help, and that I need God to really come in there and work in me where I've been harming and being wrongful to my husband. So yeah, and I'm not talking, I don't want to discuss like abusive situations or scenarios. Those are different from this. Like if there is abuse going on, you get out, and that is a wrongdoing, that is not your fault, and you need to seek help and counsel for that. But these are just selfish, goofy things that I've been dealing with. So anyway, sometimes I just start to ramble because they're uncomfortable to talk about, and a lot embarrassing. So I think I'll just end it here and know that the things that you do, the things that I'm trying to do, if I don't see instant change or instant remedy in my own life or in my husband's life or in our marriage, as I continually try to place him and his interests and his growth above my own significance and what I want him to do for me constantly, God's going to see that, and kind of storing up my treasures in heaven. And I don't do it for that reason, but just as an encouragement. Like, if you don't see the reward or the benefits or anything happening, well, know that God sees them and knows that he blesses and repays your obedience. And yeah, because it can be hard and long and tedious to wait for 16 years for some things, but I need to have the right attitude and mentality, so that knowing God's growing and working in my husband, and I need the grace where I'm growing and being worked on in my life. So anyway, that's that. Hope you guys have a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye.